sport.
Can you say your name?
Ron Perowne.
The equipment manager of Team Serbia.
One of the four. During the game came right out, and we thought that the actual blade had broken and the casing had broken. But what happened was that the blade itself just came out, and Pedro was able to take the whole blade out and then take out the screws and put it back in and tighten it up. And this happened with about 5 minutes to go in the game, and Mark Fournier was able to finish the game. And then, of course, we went into overtime 5 minutes, and then, of course, he scored the winning goal in the shootout. So how important it is that the equipment team can respond to the spontaneous and urgent requirements. So that was one of the exciting aspects of that first game against Estonia that we won 5-4. Are on the red rack, and their first sticks are on the black rack. And here's Fred's stick here. So this stick here is not. See, it's been used a lot, and it's been worn a lot, and so you'll find that when Fred goes to shoot, often the puck will sort of go off there because it's not really it's not a first-class blade anymore. Whereas Marco's stick that he was using is a perfect stick, except for a little guy who's not as strong as Marco, then you don't get the same feel. But it's a beautiful stick, and it weighs nothing. I mean, Marco's stick doesn't weigh anything at all. So all the guys, they put their number on the top of the stick. And later on, we're not doing that right now, but before the game tonight, we'll have, because these are all numbered here, 2, 3, 4. We'll have the, here's 2, and we'll have the number 1s over here, and there's 4. We'll make sure that not only are the sticks numbered, but they're in the right slot too. So if number 14 needs a stick, boom, we've got it right away. So it's fun to try to be, we see a guy break his stick, we know the number and we know the guy, so immediately by the time he gets to the bench, his stick's ready to go. That they get from Bauer.
Yeah.
And it's McGill. Yep. His glove, when he put his glove away, he noticed that this was broken off, and so we were able to replace that. So there are many reasons to put your equipment away properly. One of them is to make it look like a team and we're all together, but more importantly, it's to make sure that when we put our stuff away, if everyone puts their stuff away properly, every time they touch it, they're sort of making sure that it's in good shape. And so our rule is that as you put your equipment away after practice or after a game, and if there's a problem with your equipment, you bring it to us after the practice or the game, not before the practice or the game. So it's ready for the practice or the game. Yeah. And then the other big issue, of course, is drying. You see the hair dryers that we use to dry the skates and dry the gloves. And inside these skates and inside these gloves, during the game, it gets very, very wet. I mean, wet, not just damp. And some people, of course, perspire more than others. Some sweat more than others. Some work harder than others. So someone, for instance, like Marco, his skates after a game will literally be dripping. Water will be dripping out of his skates. It's like a miracle. It's incredible. Whereas other guys, and of course he works hard and he's on the ice a lot too. Yeah. So too, because it's a team sport, many coaches want the shirts to be hung with the team logo out, because we're all one team. Others, like myself, feel that the guys are very proud of their own names and they love to see their name. But the challenge is then we're going to each one of us is obviously an individual, and we're very proud of our own name, but our goal is to turn that into that. To turn our individual talent into even a stronger team talent. And so that's why we put our sweaters with their name out like this at first, and the guys walk out of the room and they're all walking out with the team logo on first. So little things like that. Here, this year in Novi Sad, to have 2 rooms, and we called this our living room.
Yeah.
We have our undressing room and we have our dressing room, so that when the guys come in, they all come in number 2, our undressing room, and take off their street clothes, and they hang them up there, and they come in here and they get dressed in here. So we have overall we have our living room, that's the undressing room, this is the dressing room. And then after the practice or the game, they take all of their things that have to dry, their clothes, underwear and so on, socks and t-shirts and shirts and so on that have to be dried, they go and they hang in the undressing room, in the room where we have all the strings across the ceiling and the hooks and so on, so that we get a little bit of airing out. One of the challenges here is that we don't have any windows, and we don't have any fans, ceiling fans, and so we use hair dryers, or we use torches, we borrow fans and so on. We keep the doors open as long as possible. We take the guys take their equipment outside of the arena, and Novi Sad right now, this time of the year, it's sunny and warm, and so most of the guys take their equipment outside of the arena, and for about half an hour to an hour and a half we'll let it dry, and then we bring it all back in, and everything's numbered. So for instance, we know, even without Marco's jersey, we know that Marco's equipment, we can tell, because all the equipment is basically the same, but right here is the number on Marco's gloves, and you see that. What we also do is we put either names or numbers on their skates as well. So each guy goes out and puts his, and the players do it. We don't do it for them. The players do it. They take their equipment out and put it in a little pile, and we bring it back, and we know whose pile it is because of the little numbers or names and that sort of thing. So Marco writes his name there. We have his number there. Someone like Fred, the way he identifies his stuff is he put a little bit of pink, so it's very individual.
Yeah.
But he knows, and we know that Fred has a little pink on the bottom of it. Now, of course, then you get someone like Boris, and Boris has pink laces.
Yeah.
That's very distinctive. And of course, his hockey stick, which is right here, number 14, he has it he has it taped on the shaft in pink as well. So, we have fun with that, and it's very individual. But that helps us immediately identify the guy's equipment. We know whose equipment is which. So we try to make it. We're more efficient that way.